There we go. Hello, hello. All righty. So again, if you are here, please say hello in chat. And one more time, this video will go on YouTube. So please, 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 if you do not want your face on YouTube, please do not have your camera on. This lighting is not great. Hold on. All right, it's a bit better. Let me turn on the light here. All righty. Hello. If you are here, please say hello in chat. Hello, hello. No cameras, please. All right, we're going to give just 3 more minutes. How is everyone today? How is your Saturday going? How was your morning? Please tell me in chat. I want to know.
Well, I did exercise on weekend yesterday, and when I'm walking on the street by a river, I can see so many birds and animals and cats.
It's very great. I love that. I am gonna ask that you turn your camera off because this goes on YouTube.
Okay.
So if you show your face will be on YouTube. Hello. And thank you for your answer. I really appreciate it. I also went for a walk this morning. I went to go see the flowers today, and it was so nice. The cherry blossoms are so beautiful right now. It's very nice. All right, we're going to give people 2 more minutes. Hello. All right, again, one more time. If you just got to the video or you just got here, please say hello in chat. Please say hello. Hi. You had a great Saturday morning. I'm so glad. Yeah. For those of you who have come to my Zoom classes before, I'm at a different location today. I am visiting with my friend. And so she took her children out so that I can do class. But if you hear a cat, it's not my cat, but that's who you hear. You'll hear my friend's cat. She is not happy that a door is closed. She's not happy at all. Anyways, good morning. All right, we're going to give it 1 more minute. In 1 minute, I'm going to pause the recording. I'm going to stop the recording for 1 second. And then everyone can turn on their camera. We can take a picture real quick. And then I'll continue the recording after all the cameras are off. So give it 1 more minute. But thank you all for joining today. I really appreciate it. And I love seeing you all here. Again, one more time, please say hello in chat. If you have not already, let me say hi to everyone. Good morning. I hope you all have your coffee or some tea or some juice, something to drink. And if any of you have been to America, then today might be a refresher or will bring back some memories for you. Hello, hi. Hi. All righty, I'm gonna go ahead. I'm gonna pause the recording. Okay, we took our picture and recording is back on. All right, hello everybody. Let me get my PPT up. Good morning. All right, as you guys know, today we are talking about USA and the national parks. So let's go ahead and get started. Now, real quick, I want to ask you guys, who has been to a national park in America or North America? That can be in Canada or Mexico. Good morning. Please tell me in the chat who has been to a national park in America. That's okay. No, that's all right. Don't worry about it. I also have a picture of all the names of who are here, so it's completely fine. Don't worry. Thank you so much for telling me. I do appreciate it. So, all righty. Hello, everybody. Okay, so I'm going to put that right there. Okay, professional Zoom teacher, that's me. All righty. So, okay, so we are talking about U.S. national parks, maybe one or two national parks in North America. So, have any of you been to a national park? You've never been to, that's a something, you know what, there's always time. It's also very expensive, so it's very expensive. But we still have time to go. Alrighty, so first, after I'm looking forward to saying, thank you. Thank you so much. Well, we are going to talk about my home country. I am from America. I have been to a couple national parks, but first let's ask, who here knows what a national park is? What is a national park? Who here knows what a national park is? All right, if anybody is typing, I'm going to give you some time. But so while somebody is typing that, can you name any U.S. national parks? What are the most famous ones? What are the most famous national parks that you know of? And if any of you are Googling or looking on Google, you're cheating. Don't look at Google. Yellowstone, yes, Yellowstone, very famous. What's another one? We have Yellowstone. I actually live very close to a national park in California. But they're very Yosemite. Good try on the spelling. Yosemite, that's right. Yes, a park that is maintained by the government or managed by the government. It is protected land. It is land where people cannot go hunting unless they have a very, very, very special license. They cannot live there unless they have permission from the government. It is protected land. People cannot build there, again, unless they have permission, very, very, very special permission from the government. So it is protected. All right, let's learn about some. All right, our first one is, oops. All right, our first one is Yellowstone. Yellowstone was the very first national park created in America. It was started by Theodore Roosevelt, the president at the time, or we call him Teddy Roosevelt. If you ever wondered why we have teddy bears were invented or named during Teddy Roosevelt's period when he was president. So that's why they're teddy bears, because Teddy Roosevelt. But President Roosevelt, he had traveled all around America and saw all this beautiful land, and he knew that if he did not make any laws to protect the land, that people would take it over. And he thought that that was a shame, not okay. He knew that he needed to find a way to protect the land. And that's when he created national parks, which I believe was the first in the world. If I'm remembering my research correctly, Teddy Roosevelt was the very first leader in the world to make a national park, because after this, England started making national parks, and then other countries followed in making their own national parks. So I believe he was the first. Yellowstone National Park is full of so much scenery. There's mountains that are incredibly tall. there are places like here where it is very, very low. Beautiful waterfalls. The geography, the rock formations and coming together are absolutely beautiful. Which, if you guys have comments, please write them in chat. Like, oh my gosh, so beautiful. Where is this? So our designated preserve. Yes, that's correct. It's so huge. Yellowstone is massive. It is so big. It is incredibly big. You would say they're stunning? Absolutely. I've never been to Yellowstone. I've always wanted to go. It is in the state of Montana. Many people get Yellowstone and Yosemite because the names are so similar. They get them mixed up all the time. And so, yeah, it's stunning. This is called the Orange Spring Mound. A mound is kind of just what we would call a hill. So, and again, these are rocks, or these are formations that are made over millions of years through erosion, storms, fires. Everything you see that's in America, the national parks, were created over millions of years. And then Castle Geyser, as you guys know, Yellowstone is very famous for their geysers. A geyser is a water source where there is lava underneath, and that pressure from the heat, it just comes together, and then pressure, and then the water shoots out into the air. I do have to tell you all, Yellowstone, you see all of this water. It's beautiful. It is incredibly hot, like insanely hot. Old Faithful, this is the most famous geyser. Old Faithful means she's on time. You can have faith that Old Faithful will shoot up water every 91 minutes. Before we go to that. So you see all of this water. You guys, if you ever go to Yellowstone, do not go into this water. It is incredibly hot and it is full of acid. All right, you will dissolve quickly. All right, your body will fall apart quickly. Do not touch this water. Not with your finger, not with your shoe, nothing. Just look at it. Don't touch it. Yes, it's so hot. The water boils from the earth, but it's also very, very acidic. It is very volatile. Volatile, yes. All right, so let's read about it a little bit. So Yellowstone National Park is home to the Yellowstone caldera. A caldera, think about a volcano. And when you go into the volcano, at the bottom, the little scoop right here, the U shape at the bottom, that's what we call a caldera. It is the largest super volcano in North America. If you think about Yellowstone, a very, very large portion of it is a volcano. And it is active. It has erupted with tremendous force several times in the last 2 million years. When I lived in America 10 years ago, it was very much a fear that Yellowstone can erupt at any time, that scientists have told us that Yellowstone is overdue. It is late for erupting. And when it erupts, it will completely change the earth. So we're just waiting. We're just waiting. It's a little scary at this point. Half of the world's geothermal, hot. The world's geography and thermal hot together. So geothermal features are in Yellowstone. It is fueled by this ongoing volcanism. Lava is constantly flowing and rocks. That's why those geysers, they're like little volcanoes, but with water, right? And that lava is constantly flowing under the earth. Don't go in the water. Don't touch the water. All righty, let's move on. Any questions about Yellowstone? Right now we're talking about the land. We're going to look at some animals and animal life pretty soon. Any questions about Yellowstone? Again, it is in Montana, in the top middle of America. It is not in California. Yosemite is in California. All right, if there are no questions, or if you're writing your question, that's okay. I will answer it later. All right, so this is one of those spots where the water, like, oh my gosh, so beautiful. It's so blue. It looks so swimmable. Just say, well, thanks. It looks so swimmable. It looks refreshing. Don't do it. Don't do it. It's a trick. It's a trick from nature. You will dissolve, all right? Very acidic. Yes, it looks beautiful. It's so colorful. No, you will be unalived. I know, it's so pretty. It's a shame. This is another one of these very hot, volcanic, but oh, so beautiful. I know, it's so clear and blue. I want to go swimming. Don't do it. But the beautiful colors from all this volcanic eruption mixing with the soil and the rock and the minerals all together to make this beautiful rainbow of colors that will also make you unalive. They will kill you. So don't go in the water. All right, let's look at some wildlife. Who knows what these are? I'll tell you what they are. They're delicious. These animals make the best burgers, hamburgers, I'll tell you what. Who knows what these are? That's right. When is the most, if you look on the internet, Google says for Yellowstone, the most popular time would be spring and summer. Spring and summer is the most popular. And fall is also very beautiful, but Montana has a very short fall. In Montana, it snows a lot. It is very cold in Montana. So spring and summer. It is same Korea, yeah. Yeah, these are buffalo. Very good. Yeah, buffalo. Or there's another type of buffalo called bison, B-I-S-O-N. And bison and buffalo. If you can find a restaurant that has buffalo burgers, amazing. It's really good. But yeah, buffalo. They are a protected animal in America. Don't touch them. You will get in big trouble. They are also violent because they have a baby here. They have a baby right now. Do not touch baby animals. There isn't Buffalo Burger in Canada. No, there isn't. Unfortunately not. You have to go to America. You have to go to America to find it, unfortunately. But yeah, so they're very beautiful. They are very docile, like if you leave them alone, just like cows, they're very, quiet and they look so nice. Don't touch them. Don't touch. But yeah, you will get in big trouble. We have beautiful deer. Oh my gosh, the wildlife in our national parks in America are just insane what you see. They're just so beautiful. We have some beautiful deer. In the wintertime, you can see all the different wolves and the winter animals. We have winter foxes. And then this is Yellowstone in the wintertime. So if you're allergic to nature, like pollen or trees or grass, go in the wintertime. There's no pollen, no trees, no flowers. It's the perfect time. My husband is very allergic to nature. He's very allergic, so wintertime is the best time to go to a national park. You've never seen real buffalo? Me neither. Unfortunately, I've never been to Yellowstone, and I'm really, really hoping that I can go one day. All right. Although it is one of America's most beautiful parks, Yellowstone is still prone to one type of natural disaster, and that is wildfire. Unfortunately, because of global warming, the summers are getting drier and drier and hotter, and that results in terrible wildfires. All right, so we must be careful when we are camping. We have to be careful with any sort of fire, because unfortunately it does destroy the land. However, I do want to tell you that there is hope. There are certain types of plants and trees where they need fire. Us humans are the ones who don't really like fire, but for a lot of places in nature, fire is necessary. I'm about to talk about Yosemite here, and I will tell you about there are a couple kind of trees where their seeds will not open and grow unless there is fire. So there are parts of nature, there are certain parts of our geography in America where fire is needed and necessary. It's us people that are like, no fire, stop it as soon as possible. Alrighty, so Yosemite now. Before I move on to Yosemite, any other questions or comments about Yellowstone?
Well, I'm wondering that the fox is attack the people, but many tourists need to be protected by the security guard. Is it okay?
Can you say it one more time?
Wait, I think that I see there's so many animals in this Yellowstone, and then the fox willing to attack the people, and then tourists need to be protected by the security guard or safeguard. Okay.
I understand. So with any national park, there will always be warnings. Always. So people are made aware of the types of animals. There are also videos that these parks have posted on YouTube or on their websites about fire safety, animal safety, safety about the water. And there's signs, there's signs everywhere, don't touch the water. But as we know, there are humans that don't listen, and they do what they want, and unfortunately they get hurt. But as the national parks, they're made for the animals and the land. I'm not gonna lie, if they get hurt, it's their fault. So of course there's going to be some sort of protection as much as they can. All park rangers do have their own weapons in case of an animal attack. Also, animals are tracked. So the park rangers will trap animals, put a little tracker in their ear, and then watch where they go. If those animals do attack humans, they have the tracker to find the animal, see what happened. Why people don't take more? They just don't. It's the same in Korea. They just don't. Humans think that, we are the top of the food chain, but a lot of humans think that they have the right to do whatever they want. And there are consequences. There are consequences for your actions. And unfortunately, that can end up being an animal attack. That's why in America, we know if you see a baby bear, you get away from that baby bear as fast as you can because mama bear is nearby. We are taught that from very, very young. So in America, especially in California, where we have several national parks, we are taught about safety from very young. But yeah, it's the same in Korea. It's the same everywhere. All righty. In Yosemite, You guys, Yosemite is my home in California. I am from a small town about an hour away from Yosemite National Park in the mountains. So I love talking about Yosemite. It's one of my favorite places in the whole world. It's just beautiful, and I'll show it to you. It is located in central Sierra Nevada. What that is it is the area in the middle of California. In the middle of California, that's where we grow all of our fruits and vegetables. It is seen as the fertile land, where the land is perfect for growing. And so what has happened then is Yosemite is close by. Excuse me, I'm so sorry. What has happened? My computer is doing something funny. Okay, what's going on? Alrighty. Oh no, it has happened again. Okay. Hold on, you guys. All right. We're good. Okay, sorry about that. Okay. It takes approximately 3.5 hours to drive to the park from San Francisco. This is true. If you look at California, San Francisco is at the ocean, and if you go straight across, that's Yosemite. I'm sorry about that. Technical difficulties sometimes. I apologize. Can you guys see? Is everything okay? My computer paused for 1 second. Everything's good? Okay, good. Whew. All righty. And it is 6 hours north of Los Angeles, which is true. Whenever I went home to go see my family in California, or whenever I went home, I went to university by LA. When I would go home to see my family, it was a 6-hour drive. California is huge. What people don't understand is America is massive. It is so big. It is 1,189 square miles. Times that by 2, and you have kilometers. So it's over 2,000 kilometers, and is roughly the size of the state of Rhode Island. There are thousands of lakes and ponds, 1,600 miles or 3,200 kilometers of streams, hiking trails, and so many roads. It has beautiful waterfalls, cliffs, streams, giant sequoia trees, and is very diverse. So let's look at it. Okay, hold on. You guys, I'm so sorry. Technical difficulties. I apologize once again. Excuse me. Okay. We're good. Guys, I'm so sorry. Okay. What is happening here? You guys, one more time in chat, can you all say hello? Just one more time. One more time in chat, say hello. Just so I make sure everyone's listening. You can all hear me. Sorry about that. I'm in a different location than I usually am, so I apologize for any and all technical difficulties. But all right, thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you all so much for your patience. I very much appreciate it. All right. Whew. Okay. Great. Thank you so much. All right. Well, guys, as you can see, this is Yosemite National Park. This is the most famous valley in California. If you look at pictures of California or Yosemite, this is what you see. Last year for my honeymoon, I took my Korean husband to Yosemite for the very first time for him. And it was so sweet. It was so sweet. We were driving, and when you're driving to this valley, it's very windy road. It's so beautiful already. The forest, the trees, the rocks. And then you go through a tunnel. And when you come out of the tunnel, you see this valley. And my husband, he was waiting and waiting and waiting this whole time. And when the tunnel opened and he saw the valley, he went, oh, holy mackerel. Holy moly. It was the cutest thing. But this picture is beautiful, but it is it does not capture how beautiful Yosemite is. I cried the very first time I saw Yosemite when I was a teenager. I cried. It was so beautiful. Everything is wow, wow, wow. Also, guys, I do want to point out this tree right here, you see, it doesn't look very tall. I think the sound of tree. Oh, it's if people aren't talking, the quiet, it's amazing. These are giant sequoia trees. I know it doesn't look very tall, but these are the tallest trees in the whole world. The absolute tallest trees. I cannot explain how tall these trees are. Like, in the whole world, the sequoia trees, the redwood trees, like, you think tall tree, tall tree? No. Sequoia trees that's a tall tree. You are looking back. You have to bring your head all the way back just to even look close to the top. They're amazing. Like I said, I love Yosemite. I can't get enough of Yosemite. It's the best. Alrighty. Oh, oops. Thank you. It's happening again. Sorry, I'm at my friend's house. You can hear her baby. All right, so through Yosemite, there is a, computer. What's happening? There we go. Through Yosemite, you see a big river. This is called the Merced River. This water you can swim through, okay? My computer is doing it again. Okay, you can swim through this water. It's amazing. It is so beautiful. It's incredibly refreshing. It's very clean. And this is a different view from Yosemite. This is a view from the bottom of Yosemite. This is what the bottom looks like. I told you guys, for national parks, these rock formations happen over millions. No, don't drink the water. There's still bacteria. But you can swim. You will not die unless it is rainy season. If the current is way too fast, like in the spring, the water will carry you away. In the summertime, when it's drier and hotter, then the water is very slow and it's not a big problem. It's not a big deal. And it's beautiful and it's wonderful. Okay. All right, so there are some very famous rock formations in Yosemite. This is called Half Dome. Yes, you can hike to the very top of Half Dome. A dome is usually a big, circle building, a dome. This is only half because this Yosemite was made this way by glaciers, the giant ice. So over millions of years, ice pushed its way through Yosemite and created that valley. So this valley happened because of ice, which is really cool to think about, really cool. But then also you think Yosemite is millions of years old, millions. So you are looking at history with these rocks. This is another one. This is El Capitan. When you're looking at the valley, that is the first thing you see that is on the left. El Capitan is the tallest. Yes, you can also hike to the very top. Yeah, so for Half Dome, you can, if you go on the flat face, you can rock climb. It is very dangerous. You must have a very special license and prove that you are a professional climber. All right, you have to prove that. Or you can, here's the dome, you can hike the backside and go to the top. It is a 20-hour hike. It's a 20-hour hike, and that's to the bottom of the dome. That's only to the bottom of the dome. That's right here. Ah, what's going on? To the bottom, it's 18 hours, and then you have to climb up the rest of Half Dome. It's another 2 hours, and it's not just a nice stroll. It is, you have to pull on a rope. There is a rope to pull yourself up. So yeah. Yeah, the backside. We call it the backside. Yeah. All right. El Capitan, again, yes, you can climb. You can climb to the top. The Yosemite is full of beautiful waterfalls. This is Bridal Veil. And there, Yosemite Falls is also very famous. We have beautiful deer. There is a deer hunting season, but again, you have to have a hunting license. You think it's not your type? That's okay. No, it's not mine either. In town, in the closest big town, I used to work at the fast food restaurant, and I would see people come back from this hike just so tired and like, food, give me food. I need a hamburger. So they were tired from this hike. We do have bears. We have bears up in California. You can see the yellow tag on its ear. That means the park rangers caught the bear and were able to tag it so they can track its movement throughout the year. We have a marmot, Yosemite marmot, which is so cute. I know, it's so cute. They're noisy though. They're noisy. Look up a marmot on YouTube. They're noisy. All right, and then, you know, President Theodore Roosevelt, he was talking, again, he's the one that created all the national parks. John Muir, which is his name, who was a famous photographer, he's the one who was hiking in these mountains, and he discovered Yosemite, but there were actually Native American tribes that were living in this area for thousands of years. So John Muir discovered it, but he did not. He just made Yosemite known to the rest of the world. He was able to photograph Yosemite, and then he shared those photographs with the rest of America. So he didn't discover it, but he made it known. Alrighty, before we move on to that, any questions about Yosemite?
Is there any regulation that the maximum number of entrance people a day?
Yes. So it used to be no. It used to not be, but then Corona happened. And so they made it by appointment only. And they've kind of kept the appointment for major events. So you see the waterfall behind Theodore Roosevelt and John Muir. There is a time of year in the winter where right at sunset, the sun hits that waterfall and it looks like it's on fire. It's either that one or there is another waterfall called Horsetail Waterfall. but they call it the fire fall. And it's incredibly popular to come here when fire fall is happening, when the waterfall looks like it's on fire. So that during that time, and I think it's a 2-week period when the sun hits the waterfall correctly, you absolutely need to make an appointment. You have to get a reservation to go into the park. Unfortunately, I didn't know that when it was my time for my honeymoon. Thankfully and very luckily, I have a younger brother who lives inside the park. There is a neighborhood of people who got permission to live there. I'm just looking at the time. There is a neighborhood of people who got permission to live inside the park. And my little brother is the handyman for that neighborhood. So because he lives inside the park, he was able, thank you so much, have a good weekend. Because he was able, he lives there, he was able to get us in with no reservation. Thank goodness, because I didn't know. That was new. It's been 10 years since I've lived in America. So, all righty. If you have any more questions, please feel free to ask.
Well, people need to take a sleep at night. How can you sleep at night?
Camping. There are several different types of where you can stay. There are hotels. I believe there are 2 or 3 hotels or lodges. I know, thanks. I'm very thankful for my little brother. Very thankful. There are 2 or 3 hotels. There are cabins that you can rent. There are big cabins, there are small cabins, or you can go camping. There's in America, glamping is not really a thing, or it's not a popular thing. Glamping is really just Korea. So if you don't get a cabin, you are camping with a tent and making your own fire. But Yosemite, unfortunately, is in California, and in the summertime, California is incredibly dry. So we get wildfires in California pretty often. Yeah, oh, it's beautiful. There's nothing like it, nothing. But great question, yeah. There are many different ways. All right, you guys know this one, the Grand Canyon. The Grand Canyon is a destination or a dream for many people to go to. It is in Arizona. It is about a 2-hour drive. Yeah. The Grand Canyon is about a 2-hour drive from Las Vegas. So if you go to Las Vegas, you drive 2 hours east to the right and you can get to the Grand Canyon. You want to go there? It's beautiful. Now, again, over millions of years, you see every line that is on these mountains here, that's from water. That's from a river over millions and millions of years. I think people think water is not very powerful. Water is incredibly powerful and damaging. And the Grand Canyon is a very good example of how much water can change the land. Grand Canyon is very, very long. This is the Grand Canyon from space. So, and there are a few points where you can stop and you can go look at the Grand Canyon where there will be parking lots. And as you can see, it's kind of green here. This is probably springtime, but this is in the desert where it is dry and hot. In the wintertime, it is very, very cold because the desert does not keep heat. Once it is hot, it lets it go. And so nighttime in the desert is very cold and winter is very cold. Yes, it's made by water. So you can't really see it. Oh, you see it right down here. Right here. I know many of you are on your phones, so you can't really see, but the river is called the Colorado River. And over millions of years, as you can see here, the water used to be very, very, very wide. And over time, it got thinner smaller or thinner and thinner and thinner. And now it's still pretty big, but it's not as big as it was millions of years ago. There is an observation area. Yeah, I know. It's crazy. There is an observation area. Mind you, to go on this walk, it is, I believe it was $40 to go. Don't worry about it. You don't have to go. Don't do it. It's very expensive. Just walk. You just walk onto the other areas. You'll be fine. But if you like the thrill or something that's a little scary, it's very good. But look at these layers. Look at these layers of land. So beautiful. There are many different types of activities that you can go hiking. You can ride horses or donkeys down the Grand Canyon. The cute little donkey. There's the post office on the ground. You can also take helicopter rides from Las Vegas. If you go to Las Vegas, mind you, it's about $300. It's about $300, but you can take a helicopter from Las Vegas, ride for maybe, yes, per one person, it's $300. But instead of driving 2 hours, it's like a 45-minute, no. Yeah, it's about 30-minute, 45-minute helicopter ride, and it'll take you straight to the bottom. You can have a picnic there, or depending on what kind of helicopter ride you want, but it can take you straight to the bottom of the Grand Canyon. And there's some more beautiful wildlife around. Here's the Colorado River. This is the river at the very bottom. And as you can see, people are camping out here. The Colorado River, you can go canoeing or you can go kayaking down the river. But again, you have to be safe and do not leave your trash. Take your trash with you. It is beyond imagination. You are absolutely correct. If there's one thing, like people ask me all the time if I miss America, what I miss more than anything is diversity. I miss diversity of land. I miss diversity of food. In California, there's people from all over the world everywhere, but the land itself, California or just America, is so different. From Las Vegas, we did a road trip north to a park called Zion, Z-I-O-N, to Zion. Driving through the desert to Zion was very, it was very rocky, huge rocks and red. But then driving through the desert just east to the Grand Canyon, it was very sandy with little rocks and it was way more brown. Like just going the two directions, same desert, but completely different look to it and different rocks. So again, you can go boating, you can do you can go rafting, river rafting down at the bottom. Or we call this white water rafting, where it's a bit dangerous. If you want to do this, wonderful. Be careful. Be very careful. It is quite dangerous. I don't know what that is. And our last one is in Canada. If you have any questions about, yeah, it can be very dangerous, but I've heard it's very fun. I don't like danger, so I don't do it. The last one is Banff. Now, this one isn't in the US. It's actually in Canada, but I wanted to show it to you anyway. It is Canada's oldest national park, established in 1885 in the Rocky Mountains. And it is also very, very big, about 5,000 kilometers. As you can see, this water you can swim in. It's okay. You can go swimming in this water. Totally fine. It's very beautiful. It's full of green, full of mountains and trees. Yeah, Banff is very famous in Canada. And then one more, we have Badlands National Park, which is in South Dakota, just miles of Mount Rushmore. Mount Rushmore is that mountain with all the faces, the giant president faces, George Washington, Abraham Lincoln, Theodore Roosevelt, and there's one more. Thomas Jefferson. Was it Thomas Jefferson? Oh, I'm American, I promise. I promise I'm from America. I just don't remember. But the Badlands also very beautiful. Again, all of those different layers, you can see just millions and millions of years of history of how our Earth used to look. We have the beautiful bison and the buffalo. And then another one that's very famous in Utah. It looks like picture, not real. I know. It doesn't even look real. It looks like AI, but it's not AI. Arches National Park is in Utah, which is actually pretty close. Is it pretty close? I'm pretty sure it's close to Zion, Z-I-O-N. This arch is very famous. And what's beautiful about this area is that the rock is red. It is red clay, red rock. And if you have watched the movie Cars, in the movie, Lightning McQueen and the girl car, the female car, they go for a drive through all of this beautiful red rock. That red rock, that area is based off of this, it's based off this area, off of the Arches and Zion and Bryce National Park. The color, it's like an orangey red. But it's not sand and it's not brown. It's not what you think a mountain should look like. It's not gray, it's not brown. It looks red and it's so cool. It's in Utah. It's actually not a canyon, but a giant amphitheater like that. So we call this an amphitheater. An amphitheater is a stage where there's many seats going up. So that's an actual amphitheater, but this type of land is called an amphitheater, where you have a flat bottom and then it goes up like this. So, but you see, it's not the normal colors you would think of rock and mountains and sand. It's still a desert. But as you can see, there's a river flowing through it. So that's where all the trees grow. Alrighty, I don't know if we have time. We only have 4 minutes. We have 4 minutes left. I have some questions for you guys, but I don't think we have time for everyone to answer. Time goes so fast, it really does. We don't have time to answer, but do you guys have any questions? Yes, it's not super common because buffalo are protected. They're a protected animal. So there are lots of regulations and rules for how many buffalo can be used for food, practices for hunting the buffalo, or how to raise buffalo to be made into food. But there are a lot of places you can find buffalo burgers. I hope you do too. The national parks. My husband loves the national parks now. All he wants to do is go back to America and see all the national parks. With buffalo, oh, you guys, buffalo. There's nothing like it. Buffalo or bison, B-I-S-O-N. They're pretty much the same animal. Bison is just slightly smaller, I believe. It's so juicy. It's delicious. Oh my gosh. Just imagine beefier beef. Like, it's like, imagine the taste of steak, but in a hamburger. Like, it's insanely good. It's so good. All right. With that being said, we just have 2 minutes left. If you guys have to go, you guys can go now. If you have a question, please stay behind. But it was so wonderful to talk to you all. I hope you learned something. And I hope you guys go to these parks someday. And you all have my email. If you go, send me pictures. I would love to see your pictures. All right. But you guys have a wonderful Saturday. Thank you all so much for being here. Please say goodbye in chat. Oh, little hearts, little hearts. Thank you all. Please say goodbye in chat, and I will see you all next time. Thank you so much. It was wonderful to meet you all. Goodbye. Thank you all so much. Have a wonderful day. Thank you. Have a good day. All right.